Rita Ora just dropped a bomb. And the Bayhive doesn't know whether to defend or dig. After years of staying silent, Rita has finally come forward with claims that Beyoncé and her camp sacrificed her public image to cover for Jay-Z's past transgressions. And y'all remember what this is about, right? The cheating rumors, Becky with the good hair, the elevator incident, the silence that followed. But now Rita's saying she was the scapegoat, the placeholder, the distraction. And according to a close industry source, Beyoncé allegedly knew exactly what was happening and let Rita take the hit. They needed someone to carry the backlash. They chose me. WHAAAT. In this video, we're unpacking it all. The coded interviews, the lyrics that pointed to a bigger betrayal, the deleted tweets, and the secret moment Rita says Beyoncé looked her in the eye and walked away. Is this truth, revenge, or a last-ditch attempt to clear her name? This ain't new. This ain't sudden. This is the betrayal that's been hiding in plain sight since 2016. Rita Ora, once hailed as ROC Nation's Golden Girl, has finally broken her silence on the most infamous, whisper-filled triangle in modern pop culture. And she's naming names, starting with Beyoncé, the rise of Rita. Then the fall when Rita Ora signed with ROC Nation in 2008. She was hailed as the next Rihanna. British, bold, and beautiful. She had a killer voice and the full backing of Jay-Z's powerful empire. But despite a promising start, her career stalled. Her album was delayed, her videos were pulled, and the media started whispering that something or someone was sabotaging her rise. Then came 2016. Lemonade drops, and all hell breaks loose. You remember where you were when it happened? Becky, with the good hair? One lyric in one Beyoncé song that detonated a decade's worth of suspicion. He only want me when I'm not there. He better call Becky with the good hair. Immediately, the internet scrambled for suspects. The Bayhive lit their torches. And guess who they zeroed in on first? Rita Ora, the accusation that never went away. Why Rita? She was one of Jay-Z's closest SIGNEES. She was constantly seen around him at shows, events, dinners, and just days before Lemonade dropped, she posted a selfie in a bra with lemons on it. Yes, lemons. Then she appeared at the Met Gala in a Gucci dress, the exact same dress Beyoncé had worn in a campaign. Coincidence? The Bayhive didn't think so. The internet devours Rita #Rita Ora started trending for the wrong reasons. Rita is Becky. Jay-Z's side chick finally got exposed. Beyoncé gave us clues. Y'all ain't listening. Rita denied it, but the internet didn't care. I've never been Jay-Z's mistress. There's no truth to that. It's offensive to even suggest that. But her words were drowned out by the machine, and that's what she's addressing now. Almost 10 years later, the new allegation, I was sacrificed. In a recent interview clip, now viral, Rita says, "When that album dropped, my life changed. I wasn't even in the room, but suddenly, I was the villain." She claims the ROC Nation team and Beyoncé's camp knew she was being targeted and said nothing. "They watched me burn online. They let me take the fall because it protected him, because it made the narrative clean." She then adds, "There were people in my own label who told me to ride the storm, that it was part of the game. The game. Getting smeared as a homewrecker was part of the game." The silent cold shoulder. According to insiders, Rita attempted to meet with Beyoncé privately, not to confront but to clarify. She was told it wasn't the right time. She says she bumped into Beyoncé at an event later that year and received a smile and silence. That was it. She looked at me like I didn't exist, like I was supposed to disappear. Career crashed, and they moved on after Lemonade. Beyoncé's star ascended even higher. Jay-Z laid low, then dropped 444, essentially apologizing in public. Rita left ROC Nation, entered a lawsuit over album rights. and spent the next few years climbing back from the hole she was buried in. Why she's speaking now, Rita says. She stayed quiet out of fear. Fear of the hive, fear of retaliation, fear of being labeled jealous or bitter. But now, I'm done carrying the blame for something I didn't do. I was offered up to protect a man's legacy and a queen's silence. MIC. ... So now we know Rita Ora claims she was sacrificed, thrown under the Beehive bus, buried in lemon emoji hate, and all to keep one man's secrets safe. Jay-Z, but if you thought that was the scandal, you haven't heard the real twist yet. Because according to insider leaks, private DMs, and one very suspicious deleted message, Jay might have tried to make it right privately. And Beyoncé allegedly warned her team to keep Rita at a distance. The warning text? Play it cool. Let her burn. Rita didn't just hint at being left out to dry. She claims she saw it in writing. In the interview, she describes receiving a text from someone she calls a trusted mutual. Not a publicist, not a fan, but someone in the room when Lemonade dropped. That text allegedly read, "Don't take the bait, play it cool, let her burn it out. They're not going to say your name." Though her in question, Rita. All clues pointed to her. Let's be clear, Beyoncé never said Rita Ora in any song. But the Lemonade visuals were weaponized with surgical precision. The moment in Sorry, where Beyoncé smirks in a Gucci outfit Rita was seen in 2 weeks earlier. Deliberate. The backup dancers with good hair hats. Petty level high art. The ashes to ashes lyric. Metaphor or message. And Rita was left to connect the dots, just like we all did. The Beehive attacked with vengeance once. Fans believed Rita was Becky. They didn't stop at tweets. They sent lemon emojis to her comment sections for years. They accused her of breaking up the most powerful black couple in music. All while Beyoncé and Jay-Z said nothing. And that silence, Rita says, it was intentional. They could have said it wasn't me. One statement, one post. But they knew I was the convenient scapegoat. And they let me drown. The deleted DM from Jay-Z. Here's where it gets wild. A popular gossip page known for leaking verified messages claims Jay-Z attempted to privately message Rita in 2018, 2 years after Lemonade. The message allegedly read, "I never wanted it to go that way. You deserved better." And then it was deleted, according to that same source. Rita screenshotted it, but never posted. Why? She wanted to believe he meant it. But if he really did, he would have said it publicly. Beyoncé's alleged rule: no re-engagement. Insiders close to Rita say Beyoncé put out a silent order among industry insiders. No features, no support, no Rita Ora affiliation. Period. Producers allegedly passed on beats. Writers pulled out of collabs. And radio promotion for Rita's sophomore album quietly dropped. It was like she vanished overnight. 1 minute she's ROC Nation's next queen. The next, she can't get a feature from a YouTube artist. Rita S, Career V's, Beyoncé S. Narrative on. Here's the real sting. As Rita's brand crumbled under cheating rumors, Beyoncé became the face of forgiveness. The queen who stayed, the woman who overcame infidelity. She turned pain into power. But whose pain was it really? Was the collateral damage for her redemption arc? That's what Rita's saying. The Met Gala proof nobody noticed. Here's the kicker. In 2016, at the height of the Lemonade speculation, Rita showed up at the Met Gala wearing a lemon print Gucci gown. Fans thought she was trolling. But now, she says that wasn't trolling. It was a cry for help. I wanted people to know. I was showing you what they were doing. Y'all thought I was playing. She even took a selfie with Beyoncé at the event. Caption, family, followed by a bee emoji. Now she says she was forced to post it. They said it would stop the rumors. It didn't. It just made it worse. The industry played along now that Rita is speaking out. Former ROC Nation staffers are quietly backing her. One former marketing rep said, "She was never supposed to win. They used her like a screen." Another A&R source added, "If your downfall benefits a billion-dollar couple, you don't get saved. You get sacrificed." First twist, was it Beyoncé or Jay-Z? It's the final question. Did Beyoncé actively let it happen? Or was Jay-Z pulling strings behind her back the whole time? A theory now circulating says Jay-Z encouraged this suspicion to ward Rita to take pressure off his OWN affairs with other women. One source even claimed Rita wasn't the only one. She was just the one with a record deal. Phew. WHEWWW. This just went from he said, she said, to we heard it ourselves. Because a leaked phone call between AROC Nation assistant and Rita Ora's former stylist is now circulating. And what's inside that 2-minute convo is sending shockwaves through the entire industry. The phone call leak that changed everything. The leak was dropped by a UK-based podcast called Behind the Velvet Tape. They received the audio anonymously, verified the voices, and dropped it at midnight with the caption, "We weren't supposed to hear this, but now you will." In the clip, the ROC Nation assistant, believed to be KM, is heard saying she was briefed on all the press triggers before. The album rollout, the names, the rumors, the risks. She was told Rita might take heat, and her exact words were, "It'll pass." She was told Rita might take heat. It'll pass. Those 3 words are now being called the coldest betrayal. In Beyoncé's history, she knew. Fans were stunned. Stans were shook. The Hive, silent or in denial. But the audio continues. Rita's stylist clearly distressed replies. So she just let her take it. Sick. That's actually sick. And the assistant says, it was PR. Everything's PR in that camp. PR, not truth, not protection, just optics. Social media reacts and explode ESI immediately. The audio was dissected by fans, voice pitch matched and confirmed timeline, matched with Lemonade rollout K. M identified by ex-employees who say she left ROC Nation in 2018 under quiet terms, and the hashtags took OFF. Hashtag she knew. Hashtag justice for Rita. Hashtag lemonade-lized witters trending. TikTokers doing dramatic reenactments. Podcasters calling this the fall of the queen. Hidden betrayal. Was Beyoncé always in on it? Let's rewind. When Lemonade dropped in 2016, Beyoncé played the role of the wronged wife, betrayed by a cheating husband. She never said a name, never pointed a finger, let fans build the narrative, and they did viciously. They blamed Rita, they turned her into a punchline. But now we know Beyoncé was briefed. She saw it coming, said it'll pass. That isn't just passive, that's strategic. The Hive and Rita Ora are even Beyoncé's biggest offenders. Are cracking. One longtime Beehive account tweeted, "I love B, but if she let another woman take the fall to protect her man, I'm heartbroken." Another said Rita might not be innocent, but she didn't deserve this. And BKNEW. Nah, some diehard fans are even calling for a public apology. One tweet got 200K likes in 4 hours. You turned a woman into a villain. To stay a queen, that ain't empowerment. That's empire. The industry speaks quietly. But clearly, a well-known pop writer posted anonymously on Reddit. Everyone knew Rita was the scapegoat. We just didn't say it. You don't survive in this business by crossing the Carters. Another ex-ROC Nation artist said, "There's a reason half of us left. What happened to Rita?" That's what happens when you stop being useful to their story. Yikes. Beyoncé's image starting to crumble for the first time. Major outlets are asking real questions. Billboard published a piece titled, "When Silence is Complicity." The Rita Ora question rolling. Stone ran a headline, "Rewriting Lemonade, did Beyoncé know too much?" Even the New York Times posted a think piece. We loved the narrative. But who did we hurt to believe it? The same media that once hailed her as flawless is now asking, was it flawless or ruthless? Rita Speaks Again. Rita responded to the leaked call by posting a simple tweet, told y'all. The silence wasn't mine, with a B emoji crossed out. Then, she posted an IG story with the words, I forgive you, but I'll never forget, followed by an old pic of her in a ROC Nation hoodie, torn down the middle. Symbolism, shade, and sorrow. The bigger reveal, there's more audio. The podcasters who dropped the leak say it's just one part of a larger archive. They claim to have an email from a ROC Nation staffer discussing diversion strategy, a second call where a marketing exec says Rita won't recover, the album will chart, and a private group chat where someone says we chose narrative over loyalty. Phew, narrative over loyalty. If Beyoncé let Rita Ora take the fall, what else has she let happen to protect her throne? Because if this is the beginning of the end of the Beyoncé myth, we're about to see an empire shake when the leak hit, the one with the voice, admitting she was briefed and let it happen. Social media didn't just explode, it split. And for the first time in her career, Beyoncé is being openly, publicly called out. The hive fractures for years. The Bayhive has been unshakable, untouchable, ready to defend their queen at all costs. But this time, they're not all staying loyal. Some of the most dedicated. Beyoncé fan accounts started posting blacked-out profile pictures with captions like, I need time to process this. She let Rita take the fall? That's not the woman I thought. She was. We ride for the truth, even when it stings. Some are even dimming Rita to apologize. Yep, you read that right. TikTok turns against Beyoncé. TikTok. The shift is even louder. INFLUENCERS, who once lip-synced to Formation, are now posting breakdowns titled, How Beyoncé Weaponized Silence. Beyoncé's PR game is cracking. Did she build a throne on someone else's pain? One creator's viral post, Rita wasn't perfect, but she didn't deserve to be publicly executed, while Jay got a redemption arc and Bey got a Grammy. 3.2 million views in 24 hours. 750K likes. 200K comments, mostly agreeing. Celebs are quietly picking sides. Some are dropping cryptic shade. Others, flat out stepping out the shadows in support of Rita Ora. Charlie XCX reposted Rita's tweet and commented, the silence really wasn't hers. Respect. BB Rexa posted, some of us saw what she went through behind the scenes. Glad she's speaking. Tanash liked multiple tweets under the hashtag Justice for Rita. And the biggest shocker, a tweet from Adele's fan account retweeted by Adele's team that said, sometimes the queen stays silent, and the pawn gets sacrificed. No names, no emojis, but we know what it meant. Industry cold front hits Beyoncé. It's not just blogs and stands. Journalists and insiders are starting to whisper. One Rolling Stone editor posted, we've all known about this. Nobody wanted to be the one to say it first. A former ROC Nation artist name withheld gave a now viral quote. The whole empire was built on controlling the narrative. If that narrative breaks, everything does. Major outlets pick it up. The Shade Room was Rita Ora, the industry's most strategic scapegoat. BuzzFeed 10 clues that suggest Beyoncé KNEW, Rita, was being sacrificed. And Let It Happen Variety. The Lemonade fallout, Beyoncé's silence faces scrutiny. In 2025's most unexpected scandal, fans discover more clues in plain. See, remember when Beyoncé wore a Gucci lemon dress just days before Rita did? Or how Rita was blurred in ROC Nation promotional materials. Fans are now posting comparison shots, timestamps, and side-by-sides, proving that Rita was erased intentionally, and in every post, the same questions appear. Why didn't she protect her? Why stay quiet when the wrong woman was taking the hit? Was this really just about Jay? Rita's gaining support like never before. Rita's own fan base, which had shrunk over the years, is now experiencing a rebirth. New fan pages, old ones reactivated. Comments full of apologies. I believe the worst about you, and I'm sorry. You didn't deserve that hate. Not for a rumor Beyoncé never even denied. Even non-fans are saying, I never liked her music much. But she didn't deserve to be ruined to protect a man. One last tweet blew the roof off. Came from an unverified but industry-connected burner account, often known for leaking. Accurate T. The tweet, Rita wasn't the only one be sacrificed. She was just the one who finally spoke. And below that, a list of 3 more names, blurred. But fans are zooming in, and the theories. Wild. It dropped like a quiet bomb. No teaser. No flashy headline. Just a file link posted anonymously to Reddit titled sacrifice_protocol_voicenote.mp3, and when it played, the voice, confident corporate male, says, it's not personal, it's protection. Protect the brand, protect the bond, protect the billions. Boom. Those words, protect the brand, the bond, the billions, are now being dissected by the entire internet, and the voice allegedly belongs to a former ROC Nation senior executive. What's in the file? In the 61-second recording, the exec is heard discussing what appears to be the rollout strategy for Lemonade. We know who's going to get targeted. It'll pass. She'll live. She ain't the story. They are. They as in Beyoncé and Jay-Z. And then the worst line, she'll recover or she won't. Either way, it clears the narrative. Cold, calculated, corporate. The fan theory becomes REL. For years, fans speculated that Rita Ora was a scapegoat, that she was offered up to maintain the Queen Forgives King fantasy. But this audio confirms it was a boardroom decision, not a rumor, not fan fiction, a premeditated sacrifice. But then, another woman steps forward, and just when you thought the last twist had dropped, it didn't. Because shortly after the leak went viral, a rising R&B artist who once auditioned for ROC Nation in 2017 posted this cryptic message to her IG story, y'all think Rita was the only one? It's tried to bury me too. Same reason, same story, different year. Then she posted an old video of herself in a ROC Nation hoodie. Tag. Hashtag ICAL let it first. What? The internet is spiraling. Now fans are calling her the second sacrificial lamb. And rumor blogs are already digging for connections. The empire is cracking where? No longer in music drama. We're in corporate exposure. Because if this leak is real and insiders say it is, then Rita wasn't accidentally blamed. She was a chess piece, a pawn in a billion-dollar brand story. And that brand is now unraveling in real time. What's next? Anonymous leaker who dropped the file says, there's one more. The real one. The voice you've been waiting to hear. That's it. No names, no clues. But everyone assumes the next voice might be Beyoncé or Jay, or the PR mastermind behind the curtain. Whoever it is, the industry is bracing for impact. If they did it to Rita, who else did they silence? Next leak coming. When you least expect it, you heard it. You felt it. And now the question is burning in every comment section across the internet. Did Beyoncé sacrifice Rita Ora to protect Jay-Z and the Carter brand? We want your voice in this. Drop a comment below. Do you believe the leaked audio is real? Did Beyoncé let another woman take the fall to control her narrative? Is this just the tip of the iceberg? And who's next to speak out? Choose your side. Hashtag Team Rita, or hashtag Queen Bey lied, hashtag she knew, or hashtag rock silence. And if you were in Rita's shoes, would you have stayed silent? Or blown the whole empire up years ago? Sound off in the comments. We're featuring the most savage takes in our next episode. Subscribe so you don't miss the final drop, because when that last voice note hits, the truth will no longer be denied. Share this video with someone who still thinks Lemonade was just music. because behind the visuals was a very real victim. And what happens when the final name is revealed? It's not just reputations at risk, it's a legacy. Legacy.